And welcome back to Varsity Football Live here on 950KJR.com and the FinalScore.tv. Dick Fain with you as we always have all season long on Varsity Football Live. We've talked to some of the great coaches in the state of Washington, one of them we have not caught up with yet, but now we are as he takes his Bellarmine Prep Lions into the state semifinals. Head coach Tom Larsen. Coach, how you doing today?
I am awesome, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and you must be awesome. An 11-1 season thus far. Your first trip to the state playoffs since 2002. First trip to the semis since 1983. And, this might be a little bit more special for you than maybe it would for a guy that maybe come from a different school, since you're a Bellarmine alum, you're a teacher there. You really bleed lion blue, don't you?
Well, it goes way back, so yeah, I guess I do. And most of my staff have the same color blood.
Does that make it a little more special to know that you've accomplished something that hasn't been done at this school in over 2 decades?
Well, I've been part of the program for 16 years, part as an assistant, and now as a head for 8. And so, yeah, it's truly an honor to be able to represent as the head coach. This incredible team that has kind of, I think, overwhelmed the community with how they've responded to kind of their weekly challenges. And so, yeah, we couldn't be more proud of these kids.
The thought that I've always had in watching Bellarmine football, and I had some very close friends that all went through Bellarmine, so I watched it a lot, especially in that 90 to 2000 era. It seemed to me like Bellarmine was always the team that was going to shut you down on defense. They were going to hold you to single digits. But the problem were the Lions going to be able to put enough points on the board to overcome and to get the win? And it seems like now there's that great balance of great defense and great offense. When did you start to see that take place, where you started to get some playmakers on the offensive side of the ball?
First, yeah, I do agree. Defense, as they say, wins games. But being a kind of an old offensive guy, offensive line, it's just a matter of, I think this year, a combination of the kids, the talent, and obviously the coaching staff utilizing that. We have a quarterback that reminds me of someone I had the privilege of playing with, and that's Jack Thompson. And, this young, he wows us every week with his ability, and a receiver and a running back and an offensive line. I mean, it's just a combination of kids that are out there performing and just doing what they're asked. And so I think, yeah, defense wins, but in terms of answering your question specifically, it's just been a great combination that is effective this year.
Let's talk a little bit more about, is it Sefo Lefau? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yes, Sefo Lefau.
Sefo Lefau, the quarterback. What type of quarterback is he? Is he a guy that gets out of the pocket, uses his legs, or is he primarily a drop-back guy?
He would probably be more of a drop back, although he's actually pretty speedy. But yeah, I mean, typically with his height and his ability to kind of vision that he has to see the field, in other words, you wouldn't see him as a kind of a zone read, take the ball and run it, 20 times. No, I mean, his effectiveness is with his intelligence and his arm. Not that he can't move, but that's how he's most effective.
And then you've got a fantastic receiver that caught that winning touchdown pass against Bothell last week. Tell me about Michael Rector.
Oh, again, another special young man, on and off the field, both of these guys. And Michael has a speed that just amazes us as his coaches, and I think his fellow teammates. But also a desire there. I mean, there's sorry if I'm going to push the old News Tribune, but they have an incredible picture of that focus that Michael has on catching that ball. And, you add character along with focus and along with skill, and you have an incredible young man, incredible athlete.
Tom Larsen joining us, the head coach of the 11-1 Bellarmine Prep Lions. They head east to Joe Albi Stadium to take on Ferris this weekend in the state semifinals. And before we preview that game, Coach, let's just talk about that game against Bothell. It was a game that you guys were down 2 touchdowns at halftime, and they were kind of pushing you around a little bit, and you get into the second half, and it's a whole new ball game. You got a little bit of a break with the injury to Luke Prue, but you wrestled that game away from Bothell to win it in the final seconds of that game with that touchdown to Michael Rector. Talk about what the halftime locker room was like, and talk about what you said to your team to kind of turn the thing around.
Well, I have to also add in both coordinators. Brian Jensen, he spoke and said, "Gosh, guys, we just are missing, a block here, a block there. It's not like we're making huge mistakes."
Mm-hmm.
And so these kids are intelligent, and they know themselves the mistakes they've made, and they also were aware of what they could do to rectify it. I think our defensive coordinator, Dan Shaw, just said, "Man, you just have to have faith, plain and simple, because you've been here, you've done this." And then, right before they stepped out, the only words I had was, "Hey, you've got 2 quarters left.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure every second is your best effort." And they came out and just combined all of that together against an incredible team. Bothell, year in and year out, and I tell you, talk about the character of those kids. The compliments our players gave after the game about just the way they competed, and competed right, competed hard, was obviously showed what kind of team we were going against.
Battle-tested now as you head over east, a long road trip to Joe Albi Stadium to take on Ferris, a team that we've kind of followed on the radio show all year long, but obviously not many of us have seen Ferris. I'm sure you've seen them on film at this point. What worries you about the Saxons?
Their offense, their defense, and their special teams.
That's some good coach speak right there, Tom.
Oh gosh, they made it to the show last year, and again, you just go back through their history, and it's removed from us on this side of the state, but we have a few coaches on our staff that have been on the other side of the state. For me, it was long before my kids were born when I was at WSU, but even back then, Ferris just puts together incredible kids, incredible coaching staff, and athletes. And so, there's a little bit to be concerned with, but to be honest, we just tell our kids we focus on us. We take care of ourselves, and we do what we can, and the results hopefully take care of themselves too. So.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you, and we're rooting for you over here, and thanks for joining us, and we'll see if we might be able to talk to you again in the Tacoma Dome next week. How about that?
Oh, well, again, it'd be an honor, so I appreciate it. Really, thank you.
You bet. That's Tom Larsen, head coach of the Bellarmine Prep Lions. They got Ferris coming up this weekend at Joe Albi. Back after this. This is the FinalScore.tv and Varsity Football Live.